Good afternoon to all Barbadians. Today is the fourth day of September 2025. The time is now 18:10 or 6:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time where I am. I want to speak to the subject today of cronyism, sexism, nepotism, racism, any Islamistic system that exists out there that has been in existence from the beginning of time until where we are right now in time, and the effects that that has on um, getting a meritocracy in place where people merit and earn what they merit. And I read all of these various social media accounts with reference to the cronyism and the nepotism and all of the other isms that are in existence out there that prevent hardworking Barbadians, people who are qualified from being in positions of leadership. And then again, the fiduciary responsibility of public figures to come to public service to serve and not to in any way line their pockets um, financially and the pockets of their friends. Now, I understand that, we help our friends and we help our families, but when it comes across as if we are um, not providing the kind of fiduciary responsibility to the public that we are sworn to serve, then that prevents the orderly transition of work, of good governance. And as I have been lamenting here, we need definitely legislative and judicial reform across the board to fix the black hole of corruption that exists in the deliverance of civil service responsibilities to the citizenship of Barbados. We have to be able to speak to that, Madam Prime Minister, and there needs to be a legislative conversation about that on the floor of Parliament. We, the citizens of Barbados, we demand not um, expect only, we demand that we are treated with some measure of respect and some measure of accountability, fiscally and otherwise. Now, I'm not here to be alarmist or to insult the intelligence of anybody or to make statements that are in falsehood of anyone. That is not why I'm here, but I am here to be truthful and to be transparent and to speak to those in power and ask that we look at a process that facilitates for government doing what is right, for people being held accountable, especially cabinet members. Those selected by the Prime Minister to be cabinet members have been given a tremendous charge, a tremendous responsibility, as opposed to regular sitting members of Parliament. It is a once in a lifetime ideal for a parliamentarian to be called into service in the cabinet of Barbados. And when that person is called in to the cabinet of Barbados to be a cabinet minister to serve at the pleasure of the prime minister and the people of Barbados, they should be grateful, thankful, and do the very best. We shouldn't come to politics looking to enrich ourselves and families. We should come to politics for duty, honor, and country, for service. Now, maybe I am being bucolic and Pollyannish in my exaltations here. Maybe I am. But if I am, I would rather be that way than to lean diametrically opposite to what I have just stated in a Pollyannish way. We should come to serve, duty, honor, country, not to steal or to line our pockets. I am not here to accuse anybody of anything, for certainly I don't know. I am not predisposed to any specific information that would suggest that anyone has done any wrongdoing, and that is not my contention. But we have to wake up in the 21st century and look at the broader, wider landscape of service to country. God, family, duty, honor, country. If I'm going to be ridiculed for those ideals, so be it. I stand ready, willing, and able to preach on that pulpit of right doing as opposed to wrongdoing. Now, we have to get to a point in our nationwide commitment to excellence, brothers and sisters, where we hold each other accountable and responsible for our actions. There was a time in Barbados, not so long ago, that we held ideals like duty, honor, country, and respect to elders, women, children, and the country of Barbados in high esteem. I don't know. We've fallen away from that and fallen into a place now where decadence seems to rule. It seems to be the order of the day. And again, there are those people who would turn their faces away knowing that something is wrong rather than look to what they know is the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. So when we look at the broader aspects of our existence, what are we teaching our kids? What are we teaching them? What are we, that some materialistically driven situation is the ultimate, and that as long as we can live out what we perceive as comfort by materialisms, that it is okay to turn our heads, turn our eyes away from wrongdoing. That is the wrong message to send, brothers and sisters. And forgive me if I am coming across as pontificating on the right side of what I believe is the spiritually right, contextually right thing to do. If I am coming across that way, then I stand convicted. I stand convicted on what I presume to be right. What I presume to be right. As I often state here, the word right is often an abstract thought that proves nothing. RIGHT. Because we conceive it one way and we act sometimes totally different to what we know is our moral fiber, our moral existence. We need judicial and legislative reform. We need a sexual predators list. We need, Prime Minister, this is meant for you and the leader of the government's business in Parliament, Cynthia Bradshaw, and the Attorney General of Barbados. We need laws to stop men from trafficking in women and from abusing women and children. Prime Minister, Attorney General, leader of government business, Cynthia Bradshaw, please, please stand on the side of right, even though it may be unpopular and it may cause some rumblings. But as long as we continue to turn our faces away from what we owe the general populace, then we continue to muddy the waters of justice. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Prime Minister, you are a learned person, very familiar, very well read. You know what I'm talking about. And I appeal to you. I appeal to your good judgment and your leadership in our beloved island nation. It is imperative that we stand with the least of these. We stand on the side of righteousness. And we hold morally indignant those that would violate their fiduciary responsibility to the general public at large. Thank you very much, fellow Barbadians. God bless you all, your families. God bless the government of Barbados. And God bless Barbados.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.